Hey everyone, it's Chrissy from Everyday Survival Gear, and today I'll bring you the Vollsion UC20. Just a quick disclaimer, this light was given to me by Vollsion. I'll try and do a fair and unbiased review like always. Alright guys, as I just said, today I will be reviewing the Vollsion UC20. Basically I'll do what I usually do now. I'll tell you what it came with. Came with the clip, that's there, lanyard, and the window breaker. The window breaker doesn't actually come on, it comes off, and then it just comes flat like that, but that's what it comes with. Also spare O-rings, I'll put those in the camera. And this is the box that it came in. I'll move these off. Let me pick up the camera a bit so you can see it. So yeah, that's what is included with this light. Alright guys, I'm going to try and film this as best as I can. I'm in my room, it's almost 2 AM, and I'm just trying to get this review done because the one's already up on BLF. So basically, this comes with a Cree XML2. As always, it's in the front of the light. You can see it there. Actually, by looking at it now, at the start I thought it was a T6. But it's not, it's definitely a U2 or above, because I can tell by the bonding wires. Cool. Deep OP reflector. So basically the reflector sits there at the front. Also, obviously, as you can see from the camera, it's also got AR coated glass. It's got a broad voltage circuit, so it can run on one 18650 or two 16340/CR123s. It weighs about, they said 72 grams. When I weighed it, it was about 79 without the battery and anything else attached. So I'm not 100% sure if my scale's off, but it's around the 70 something grams. It uses a constant current circuit, so you should always get the same level of brightness over a set amount of time. Unlike a direct drive circuit where you get more brightness at the start, and then as it fades, you'll get less light. And it's got a memory function, so when you turn the light on, and then you want to turn it off, and you turn it back on, it's still got the same modes. So it's got 3 brightness levels and a hidden strobe. So you got your high, then you hold it, you will have your medium, and then you have your low. We can see a bit of PWM there. And then once the light's already on, we'll double click, and that'll take us to strobe mode. That got rid of the PWM, didn't it? And then once again, you push it once to turn off the strobe, and push it again to turn off. So when you push it again to turn it back on, it'll be on low mode again. Turn it back to high, you just hold it, and then it's back to high. Easy as that. Alright, so this ring here for the electronic switch, the switch and the ring itself, they're both stainless steel. The clip itself is also stainless steel that's been anodized. And the window breaker, which I misplaced now, is also stainless steel. Okay, so I found it. It was just underneath the camera. That is stainless steel. Even though it doesn't look like it, because it's been painted, or it appears to be painted, it definitely is stainless steel. So as I said, the front bezel is also stainless steel, but that's bare, that's unpainted. This light also comes with reverse polarity protection, so if you put your cell in upside down, it's not going to short circuit and blow you up, or at least hopefully not. It's got an anti-roll design, which is mad because these circle lights, they always like roll off. Technically a clip is kind of like anti-roll because you roll on the clip, it's not going to roll over. But you can see it here how the back of this light is flat. See how that part's flat? So it'll roll this way, it'll roll this way, it'll even roll up the top kind of. But underneath it's not going to roll because that part's flat. Got a flat towel design, so if you take this window breaker out, you can towel stand this light, which I'll show you now. The light can be towel stood like so. So you can use it as a working light or whatever that you want to do. This is actually a very cool feature. It comes in handy more than what people think. Another feature that is completely awesome about this light, and I didn't put it in my BLF review, so I'll go inside there and I'll edit it, is that this clip can be attached front and back. Oh, I had to turn the light on by accident. No, come off. Come on. Don't make me look awake. Ah, there we go. Without breaking it. Neck minute, it's broken. There we go. So I can also put this light on my hat and probably weigh myself down and my hat fall into the ocean while I'm fishing. But that's another point, is that this is IPX8 rated to 2 meters underwater, and drop proof, drop resistant to 2 meters, which is great. As usual, constructed from CNC milled aerospace grade aluminium alloy. So to be expected nowadays on all lights pretty much. Also, which isn't to be expected, is type 3 hard anodizing. A lot of lights I've been getting lately have been type 2. I think manufacturers do that just to save a bit of money. So it's great to see that this light is type 3. Alright guys, now I'll just run through the output mode. So as I was saying, one click on. So that's high mode. High mode is 850 lumens. ANSI F41 rated lumens. 850, which lasts for 1.5 hours. Next mode down is medium mode, which is 400 lumens. That lasts for 3.5 hours. And below this is low mode, which is 30 lumens, lasts for 35 hours. Also, the hidden strobe is 850 lumens. Vollsion didn't actually write how long did that last, so I'm not completely sure. The beam pattern is actually very, very cool. The reflector itself is bigger and deeper than a standard S2 or S2 Plus or A6 style flashlight. So the reflector is deeper and wider. Alright, the reflector system on this light is unique. It's bigger and wider than a S2 Plus and then BLF A6, which I both own. It's wider and deeper than the S2 Plus and the A6. And it's also a orange peel textured reflector. So I'll show you the reflector there. Couple that with the AR coated glass, we get a whopping 8,600 CD, which gives us a peak beam distance, ANSI F41 rated, of 185 meters. So not crazy distance, but these lights are made to be super floody lights. So that's what you're expecting to get. Basically, we'll take apart the light now, and I'll show you how it does. I got my light on in my camera, so I'm not sure how this will look. Alright, so that's the head there. No spring, so you're better off using button cells. They make better contact. You can use the flat cells too, just don't use the 18650s that are recessed, because they kind of rattle in there. So just be a bit wary of that. Whoa. Warranty issue right there. Always me. Alright, so you probably can't see that, but all the threads are very well cut. They are kind of thin, but there is 5 threads there, so you're not really going to wear them out. They already came lubed too, as you can see. Hopefully you can see the bottom does have a spring. The spring appears to be gold plated, so that's also good. Something about this here, I was reading on their website. It's like some sort of copper something plated, which helps with the conductivity. So lengthwise, this is 11.2 centimeters long. I gotta get batteries for this caliper. I didn't realize it ran out now before I went to do this. 2.7 centimeters long, the head, and the widest part of the body because of the anti-roll protection and the button. So we'll just measure that quickly. Is 3.2. So you can see it is a pretty tiny light. I'll show you guys the S2 here. So this is it compared to the S2. Let me stand them up. So you can tell that the A6 is definitely bigger. There we go. So you can see it is the shortest out of all of them. Unless you're going to include the window breaker, then it is taller then. But that's just cheating. That's like making a tower and then putting on like a massive antenna and calling it the world's biggest tower. You can't do that. Alright, now let's have a quick talk about the light. I think overall build quality is great. For the price that it's going for, it's a really good price light. It's more like a better finished stock S2 and A6. That's how I feel about this light. Is it comes with everything that you wanted out of those lights, but you didn't get. The build quality is better than those lights. It's more well finished. You get the better reflector system, and you get the AR coated glass. The electric switch is one of those things where you gotta like them to enjoy them. I don't mind them, but I don't see a need to put an electronic switch on a flashlight. The electronic switch itself, it has no lockout. So if you want to EDC this, you could be turning it on by accident. Look, if I just roll this here, there we go, it's already on. So just imagine that that's inside your pocket or inside your bag, and you know you accidentally hit something and then it's going to turn on, and when you go to use it, your battery's flat. It could definitely use a lockout. Most lights with a switch, the switch is hard enough to activate that you don't really need a lockout on a standard light. So a lockout is probably needed on this light if you're going to EDC it. Otherwise, if you EDC it, you could always just use the clip. The clip is really well made. Alright guys, so the screw hole on the bottom, it also doubles as a tripod attachment. So you can see I got it hooked up to my baby tripod here, the one I'm using now to film. This tripod actually helps, but when the camera's further away, it lets in a little bit more light. One thing that I didn't show you before was how much difference the UC20's head is to the S2 and the A6. So you can see it definitely is much bigger, and the reflector is also much deeper. And also I'll show you the length again. You can see it is also much shorter. And surprisingly, the actual tube of the battery holder tube is actually thinner than the other two also. But the head, obviously, with the bigger reflector is bigger. Alright, that's pretty much all the specs, and now I'll take you guys outside. Alright guys, so before we go outside, I just wanted to check if I could actually put this on my hat. And look, it actually sits there still. It actually goes on my hat. How awesome is that? It's like a bit big, but it's pretty cool. Also, take off the glass breaker, because if you don't, you're going to get a headache, or I just did. It doesn't fit lengthwise. Unless you got like one of those massive hats that's out to here, like a sombrero, then like you should be able to whack it on pretty cruisy. Alright, now let's go outside and see how this does. And I've got all hands free, so who knows where my hands are going to be. But truth be told, seeing that all my hands are free, I'm just going to juggle the A6 and the S2 around like so. Juggle. Until I break one, and then I got to solder it to fix it. Always happens. Alright guys, now we're outside, and I've got the Vollsion UC20 on high. As you can see, it is a super wide beam. It's a wider beam even than the S2 and the A6. It's a bit chilly night. It's been getting warmer lately, and now it's just gone cooler again. Alright, you can see it lights up my whole backyard pretty easy. I have a sneaking suspicion that this is more than 850 lumens. I think it's around about 1,000, to be honest. But I'm not quite sure. So we will compare it to the S2 Plus and see how it does, because I know that that's about 1,000 lumens. The head's starting to get a tad hot now, but not that bad. So we'll switch modes and we'll see how it does. Low mode, which if I remember correct is 400 lumens. Sorry, this is medium mode. It's 400 lumens, not low mode. Low mode's next. So you can see even on medium mode, it puts out a great amount of light. Because it is super spread out, but it does kind of seem a little bit dimmer than 400 lumens. But it is lighting up like literally lengthwise my whole backyard. So from, you can see it lighting up there, all the way to there. So that is like the whole length of my backyard. Then we've got low mode. which is 35 lumens. I got that one right. You can see that it's still fairly bright even at 35 lumens. You can see to the back 15 meters away, easy. You can see it lighting up that chair, which is about 10 meters away. You can still see slight PWM. The chair at the fence is 15 meters away also. Okay, now back to high mode. So let's try something and see how this reflector does at 100 meters. Okay, so that tree in the very distance is 100 meters. I can see it getting lit up pretty well. Even though it is like very diffused, I can still see the tree is lit up. So it does definitely easily reach 100 meters. So it would go further than that. Alright guys, this is my modded S2 Plus. You can see that the tint is a slight tad lighter. It's more neutral than the UC20. It's about 1000 lumens, thereabouts. And then that's the Vollsion UC20 on to the left, and the Convoy S2 Plus to the right. So now you can definitely see the difference in the tints. That the S2 Plus is a definitely lighter tint. Output wise, they're both pretty similar. I wouldn't be surprised if the Vollsion was a little bit brighter, but that could also just be the tint. Also the S2 Plus, because it's got a XPG2 in it, it's kind of a little bit more throwy right now. I'll put the BLF A6 on and we'll see how it does against that. Alright, now I've got the BLF A6 on. Not a very fair contest because the A6 runs a direct drive driver with an XPO limiter. So you're getting about 1600 lumens, 1600 lumens. So we'll be expecting the BLF A6 to be better. But if you only had an Eagle Eyes A6, these two, the Vollsion UC20 and that Eagle Eye A6, will be very close in output. So that's the Vollsion UC20 to the left and the BLF A6 to the right. You can still see the color difference. The A6 is also a lot more neutral, maybe even 4.5K. It just stepped down now. This will be a pretty fair comparison. I reckon it's about 1000 lumens on the second highest mode. You can definitely see the different tints there, the different colors in the tints. So I think all in all, the Vollsion UC20 definitely holds its own. As an ADC, it's great. It comes with those extra options that you might want. It's a little bit more finished than buying a standard A6 or S2 Plus, so that also works out good. It's not actually that much more expensive either. And also you might like an electronic switch more than you like a clicky switch. Alright guys, so in summary, I ADC'd the Vollsion UC20 for a week and a half. I enjoyed it. It's a great light. It's compact and small enough to ADC. I have been sometimes ADCing my S2 Plus, but I don't always because it's a bit too big. This is a tad smaller and weighs about the same as the S2 Plus. It's got a couple of extra features that the S2 Plus doesn't have that you have to add yourself. Also, it's got the electronic switch, which, well, fair enough, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of, but it's not too bad. They could put a lockout in it just to finish it off, and probably also put a magnet in the towel clap, and that would make this light absolutely perfect. And also, if you want to like run it as a direct drive light and get out twice as much lumens, you know, I mean, I wouldn't really be saying no to that, would I? All in all, if you're in a country that isn't backwards a bit like mine, you can run to the shop and buy CR123s. So if your 18650s run out of juice and you're out, go out there, buy some CR123s from the supermarket, throw them in, and then you're ready to go. That's also another great feature about this light, is that you can do that. So all in all, like, it is a good light. Hopefully they make a model number 2 and they add those few extra things which will polish it off, and then it'll be perfect. This review was a little bit different than what I usually do, because usually I like to talk and add my own mumbo jumbo, but I had a few comments, people telling me just get to the point, blah blah blah. So I thought I'll try this way out and see how it goes. I don't really enjoy it quite as much as adding my mumbo jumbos, but hopefully this video isn't 21 minutes long like all my other ones have been lately. But I won't find out until I edit. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this, please like and share, and also, if you don't mind looking at my head, subscribe. Alright guys, thanks for watching.